Penny Dix, astrologer and life coach, and welcome to my live stream via Gozo in the House for tonight's in-depth look at the full moon in Capricorn that is coming up on the 13th of July. And this is a particularly powerful full moon. Not only is it a supermoon, but it is the biggest of the supermoons that we are getting this year. What is a supermoon? A supermoon is when the moon is that close to our planet, to planet Earth, that it will look enormous in the night sky. So it's really worth going outside, especially on Tuesday, the 12th, which is leading up to the 13th, when it actually comes to full, to check the sky in the sort of east-southeast to see this spectacular full moon. So what is the energy about? Because it's in Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is a very austere and quite cold sign. And this particular full moon is conjunct our retrograde outer planet, one of my big boys, although he's been demoted to a dwarf planet, but he's still a planet, and that is Pluto. The other very important thing about this particular full moon is that this full moon, conjunct Pluto, Pluto is at its natal Pluto return point for the chart, the birth chart of the United States of America. This is super big. And I think we can already see what's been building up over the last week to 10 days in the news, what we can expect with this full moon energy. Firstly, let's look at Boris Johnson. We knew he may not survive for much longer with all the scandals and Partygate accusations that have been hurled at him, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. But he actually chose to resign on the 7th of July. You know, that's really interesting because it was well within the energy of this particular full moon. So that was his significant ending, because a full moon, as you know, can mean endings. And sometimes, especially with it conjunct Pluto, it can be dramatic endings. And there's certainly been plenty of drama around. And if you want to go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I've done a video about Boris Johnson and his resignation. And that might be helpful for you to understand some of the finer energies of this full moon. And also check out my Pluto return to the United States video, because that will also give you quite an insight into what the planet can expect with this energy. But what about this full moon in detail? Because Uranus, our planet of the unexpected, our planet of surprise, is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. Now, the North Node is kind of like our collective destiny. So Uranus conjunct this point is actually really quite, well, it could be quite explosive. I'll explain why. Uranus and the North Node are making actually a helpful angle. It's called a trine to this full moon. So that is good news. But because this is a supermoon, and the gravitational pull of the moon on our planet and on the sea and the tides is going to be so strong, Uranus conjunct the North Node could mean we see quite dramatic Earth events. That can be in the sense of extreme weather. We've certainly seen that down in Australia. They've had some very bad floods in Sydney. And we've seen forest fires this week raging across Portugal. We've even had them here in Malta. So it's strident energy. The other interesting thing about this Uranus trine conjunct the North Node to the full moon is that we've seen in Sri Lanka this week really rebellious behavior, because Uranus can indicate rebellion. And the people of Sri Lanka have not been happy for some time with their political system, especially their president and their prime minister. And only recently, in the last kind of 36 hours, they stormed the prime minister's presidential palace, tore off his gold taps, and swam in his pool. So these are the kind of things we might see more of over the next few days around this full moon energy. The other event that I think is worth mentioning is the assassination of the ex-Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, because that was most definitely a significant ending represented by this Capricorn full moon. Capricorn being the tradition, the establishment, government. And this was an attack on the way Japan runs its affairs. And Japan is a kind of, traditionally very ordered society. They don't often have these kind of outbursts. So it's a big thing, it's a big deal. But how is it going to affect you personally? Well, if I look at the event chart, I do feel that this full moon is asking you to communicate to loved ones thoughtfully and with kindness. And also to recognize, because the full moon can bring endings. And hi everyone who's watching, I just see my partner in crime, Brandon Russ, has joined in. Good to see you here. Welcome. Do check out our videos on not only Brandon's channel, but my channel. And we'll be doing another episode of Whiskey and Bagels this week. So if you both realize, this is to do with relationships, if you both recognize that you've reached the end of a road, and it's about, because full moons are about endings, it's about letting go of each other gracefully, with gratitude for what you've shared together. And the interesting thing with this full moon is, if you're single and open to a new relationship, this could really, in quite an explosive way, trigger the beginning of a really important and life-changing relationship. Now, we mustn't forget the financial aspect. I often bring that in, because the financial aspect to this full moon is that it's not the best time to be splashing the cash, because Uranus in Taurus brings disruption and unexpected highs and lows in the world economy. So just be mindful of that. It's a time for being cautious. So in some ways, this is a full moon about the inner you, and about what beliefs and inner rules you live by that no longer serve you, or the significant relationships in your life. Because if we change ourselves and find that flexibility in our inner rules and beliefs, and if we challenge ourselves, it enables us to find realistic ways to transform our ways of thinking and being, which will reverberate through everyone that you come in contact with. And it's only by attending to our inner self, our inner needs, our inner being, that's how we ultimately transform the planet. Now, this week, or this month, I'm doing something rather different. So instead of giving you a full, in-depth look at your particular zodiac sign, I'm just going to give you a heads up in the area of your life that is going to be affected by this full moon. Because should you want the full in-depth look, I would like to steer you towards my YouTube channel, Astrology with Penny Dick's AstroCoach, and there you will find my full moon report with all your individual zodiac signs and the heads up for everything you could expect with this energy. So that's the new format myself and Gozo in the house are going to use for these full moon reports. So we start with Aries. I'm just going to tell you, Aries, that this full moon is very significant for you with regard to your career. And Taurus, for you, this is about higher learning. This is about teaching and education. What do you need to fully accept or expect? That you either need to hone your skills, and I'm giving you too much already. So for the rest of that thought, go to my YouTube channel. Gemini, this full moon for you is about joint resources. Cancer, dear lovely Cancer, this is about your close, personal, significant relationships. Leo, for you, this is about your day-to-day routine and any health issues that might be cropping up, you really need to attend to. I'm giving you too much there too. Virgo, fun. This is about having fun. Just stop working for a while and have fun. Libra, this for you is about the home and the family. Scorpio, think about the way you communicate with this full moon. Sagittarius, so for you, this is about thinking about your own personal self-worth. Capricorn, you know it's about you, don't you? It's conjunct Pluto. You've had Pluto in your sign for a long time, and it's going to be leaving next year for a while. And I've said too much again. Aquarius, the inner you. Pay attention to it. And finally, because I have to do this, my lovely fishes, my Pisces, my oceans of emotions. This is about your hopes, your wishes, and the community at large. Well, there we go. So, a much shorter insight into what's happening with this particular full moon. And as I said, please check out my YouTube channel for the fuller version of all the insight you need to know about this full moon in Capricorn. In the meantime, I'd like to say thank you so much to Gozo in the House for hosting this event and for all the amazing promotion they do for me and for all the businesses that they represent. If you've not checked them out, go to their page, go to their online digital magazine. They are fabulous. They have listings for restaurants, for places to stay, for small businesses in Gozo. They really are worth you spending your time with. So check them out, and thank you to the Gozo in the House team. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And remember, when you visit my YouTube channel, to subscribe. I'm really trying to get myself up to that 1K number. It's an elusive figure, but I'm going to get there. So thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next month on Gozo in the House for what will be the full moon in Aquarius. Bye for now.